I don't know if you can hear it, but literally there is a garbage person. That did not sound good. There's a garbage person outside my house making a lot of noise. I'm in like a garbage truck. But I was trying to be gender neutral and I just sounded like an asshole.
He's a garbage person.
I know.
Claudia becomes more and more ornery every day. So more and more bothered by the world.
So mean. All right, here we go. Today on CityCast Portland, we've got ideas on where to build a new ice rink once the one at the Lloyd Center Mall is gone. Plus, we've got picks for the best wine bars and drive-thrus in town that you can check out right now. I'm your host, Claudia Meza. With me are local food and drink reporters Brooke, Jackson-Glidden, and Alex Frane. Brooke, Alex, thank you so much for joining me. How's it going?
Going good.
It's going so well. Reporting live from sunny LA, where I prepped for this podcast by a pool. So
that's pretty great.
Not to brag.
Really
I'm just in Astoria, which is not super sunny right now. It's actually quite overcast in Astoria. Thrilling.
Nice. As our listeners know, I usually kick things off with an opening question so anyone new to the show can get to know our guests a little better. And today's is based on Portland City Council unanimously voting to deny an appeal of the Lloyd Center redevelopment plan, clearing the way for the long-planned transformation of the mall into a mixed-use development featuring apartments, a park, and a seasonal ice skating rink. I grabbed that from K2, by the way. Shelby Slaughter reported on it.
Great name.
Shelby Slaughter? Hell yeah.
Yeah, great name.
They also got a quote from the managing director of Urban Renaissance Group. That's the property owners of the Lloyd Center. And they said, "We're pleased the city council chose to embrace this well-considered plan to transform an outdated empty mall into a vibrant neighborhood of housing, parks, businesses, and public spaces. We're eager to get busy writing the next chapter of the Lloyd Center as a catalyst for Portland's economic revitalization." Okay, calm down. But on top of displacing a collection of local artists and businesses that have created a real community in that hollowed out shell of a mall.
Accurate.
Another concern about the Lloyd Center's redevelopment is the destruction of its beloved year-round ice rink. Not seasonal, year-round. And it's been around since the 1960s. It was the famous training grounds for Tanya Harding before she graduated to busting kneecaps. Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't want to get sued. No, you're right. Allegedly hiring people to bust kneecaps. At that ice rink is where many Portlanders learn how to ice skate. I actually know the Zamboni driver. She's really cool. Lives in St. John's, because of course she does.
Of course.
All the cool kids.
And does she drive her Zamboni to work?
God, I wish that would be the slowest commute.
Just taking it down I-5.
I'm obsessed with that idea.
A giant line behind her.
Just go around. Okay. And it's Portland, so nobody would. Or would be like, well, I don't want to be rude. So my question to you is, if you were able to convince the powers that be to move that ice rink anywhere in Portland to be open year-round, where would it go?
Okay, so I immediately had this thought. When I went to school in Boston, the seasonal ice rink was in the Boston Common, and it was so beautiful, and it always felt so fun to be in the middle of this gorgeous park and have this really nice ice rink, and there are all these kids, and there's a little hot cocoa stand. So fun. I used to love that, and I would go every year. And so I was thinking, what if we put one smack dab in the middle of Laurelhurst Park? Like, you could have it in like a conservatory style space, right? Where it just feels like a big greenhouse, but it's cold instead of hot inside. And you could put it right kind of where the duck pond is, because there's always drama around the duck pond.
Why don't we just replace the duck pond with this thing?
No,
I don't want to be a dick.
Not.
Dude, it's just an algae bloom.
I know
so
what it is.
gross. It
I've
is
grown up my whole
constantly-
life near there. I have stories about that pond.
Okay, whatever.
I think it would be perfect. And if you make that a little ice skating rink, we can let the ducks be in like cleaner water elsewhere. That's my thought process. Move the ducks.
Move
I
the
want
ducks.
Duck gentrification. I didn't mean to create new systems of duck gentrification.
Ductrification.
I'm not an expert on that. I love this idea. Fun fact, the Boston Commons ice rink is where I learned how to skate.
No way!
Yeah.
Oh, that's so wholesome.
Mine's similar to Brooke's. I think we should freeze the reservoir on Mount Tabor and just convert it into a
I had
giant
that
ice skating
same
rink.
thought.
Or alternatively, at the very top, and then have an ice, and then also have like a big ice skating sled area that you could like ski down the side of the volcano there.
You could do
That seems
Tabor
extraordinarily
dance
dangerous.
and Tabor ice.
Yes.
Just people skiing off, like completely going off the rails.
Shooting towards like shooting towards Montevilla or like down towards Hawthorne. Absolutely.
An X Games at Mount Tabor.
Just landing on Montevilla Stark.
Oh yeah, you could get like a jump ramp.
Yeah, ski jump. Bam.
I'm so into
God.
this. But ice skating on blades seems really safe.
I really do think generally though, park, right? Like make it in a place where people are going naturally to have fun. And like, you know, every time I've been spending a lot of time in American cities this summer. And I feel like, you know,
Chicago, LA.
Yeah, like having more year-round stuff in parks makes a lot of sense to me.
Mm-hmm. I think it should be at City Hall. Just as a reminder, of their decision to completely destroy the Lloyd Center. I also think
there's just the blood on your hands.
Here it is. It's also a way to get more people interested in local politics. Like imagine you have to go to one of those satellite buildings to pay a fine, and then you get a free voucher for an hour of skate time. And you hit the rink, you see the mayor pirouetting in the middle of it all, blowing off some steam. I think it would unite us. I think as a city, we would be better.
I very much agree with this.
I'm sold.
I do feel like I want to have a fun little activity after my annoying errand, right?
Exactly.
So after the annoying errand, if you use the ice skating rink as like a place to connect with city councilors, like if you could genuinely be like, hey, Angelita, I'm going to like skate alongside you and talk to you about the bus routes or something, foie gras, you know, you're set.
I think I'd be too embarrassed to try to ice skate near Angelita.
Well, you don't know how to ice skate, so you should be.
Yeah. Does no one else have that like fear around like
politicians
falling over? No, well, yeah, clearly, but like falling over, and then someone like ice skates over your hand and like cuts off all your fingers.
Did you watch a movie? Does this happen in something?
I feel like this happens every day on ice skate rinks.
I think it does. This is like Final Destination.
Exactly.
You would need, so it's like a walker. You know how like elderly have like a walker? They have that for
And
you.
do they have little like ice skates on the bottom of each like, leg? Do
No,
they have little
this
blades
is
on
a
there
real
when you like
thing.
slide?
This is a real thing. This is how people learn how to ice skate. So that would be you
get their
next to
little
Angelita.
walker.
All right. Yeah, that'll be real not
Sexy,
embarrassing.
baby.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both for your answers. Let's take a break here. And when we come back, Brooke has some new wine bars for you to try out.
Bikes with Mikes.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Bikes with Mikes. Mike, we got a listener question. When I'm driving, how much space should I give a person on a bicycle when passing?
Well, Mike, that's a good question. When you see a rider, slow down and give them plenty of space.
Yeah, it's called fall distance. Picture their total height, bike and all, and give at least that much space in case they were to fall.
Totally, Mike, and only pass when it's safe. It's not worth risking someone's life for.
Well, that's it for today. Remember, life is better when we roll together.
A message from 2 Mikes and ODOT.
Brooke, according to Michael Russell at the Oregonian, we are in the middle of a Barmageddon. So many bars are closing, and some with decades in the industry. Is that at all affecting wine bars from opening? Because I swear, like, everywhere I look, there's a new wine bar.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of those things where it just depends on where you're standing, right? Like, I feel like you look at one place and you're like, why are there all these wine bars opening? And you stand somewhere else, you're like, all the bars are closing. There are just constantly these waves, right? Where we go through openings and closings and openings and closings. And I do think that, like, part of the reason that we're in this wave of popularity with wine bars while other bars are closing is that people aren't using wine bars as bars. They're using them as restaurants. So I think about like there was a big wave of wine bar openings in 2018 and like OK Omen's opened and Canard and Bar Norman, pour one out.
R.I.P.
I do think that it's like we're kind of going through another wave. But when people are talking about these bars, I feel like very few of them are actually talking about wine. And most of them are talking about the food served at those wine bars, which I find really interesting. And I think that just follows also just like the trends of how people are dining out right now.
Bistros are in.
Bistros are in, baby.
Yeah.
I think that just, menu inflation, dish prices, things are costing more. So you go to a wine bar and you can eat fairly inexpensively and like still feel like you're having a nice night out.
Yeah.
One of my favorite places for this, and of course we have to start in St. John's with Claudia and I, like we have enough people here representing that neighborhood. There's this place called No Doubt's Wine Bar that I really like up there. Now, this kind of came out of nowhere as far as I'm concerned. If I remember correctly, it's like in the former Bernstein Bagel space, like where Bernstein Bagels originally opened. Yeah. So tiny, right? But it has this huge patio. And I don't think anything on the menu is like over $20. It's really reasonably priced. And the wines are great as a nice little selection of wines. But the food is by Jesse Martinez, who is the guy from Goomba, if you like Goomba in Alberta. So like really good food, not as much like Italian or pasta at this place. It's more like I talked about a cheesesteak on the CityCast social, but like they have a meatloaf. I know this sounds weird. Like, I hate meatloaf, but they have, like, a really good meatloaf there, actually, which I would never think to get in July, but it's super tasty. I think they do, like, a coconut creamed green with that. Really tasty. And then I really like their version of Caesar, which is, it's got, like, dates and toasted pine nuts and stuff on it. It's really good. And they do, like, a nacho that's pretty similar to the nacho at Expatriate. Again, RIP.
Oh, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
I know. But it has a lime leaf queso on it, which is really great.
Ooh.
And baked beans, and you can get like
Sweet?
shaved ribeye on it. It's like, they're not super sweet. It's balanced.
Okay.
So it's sort of like, when you get like a sweet chili Dorito? I don't know why this is it's like that level of sweetness. But yeah, super tasty. And again, technically a wine bar, definitely focused on wine, but also just kind of like a nice Wednesday night date spot.
That's cool.
It turned out really nice in there. And again, I think it opened in like January, but I didn't notice it until fairly recently. So again, kind of sort of snuck up on me. Another one that's kind of like that, where I didn't learn about it until like Gabe Rucker of Le Pigeon posted about it on Instagram. And I was like, what is this place? Is this spot called Oscar Food and Wine. Also a wine bar. The food is sort of like... It's like sort of Spanish and kind of French, but then like they have tostadas and then like swordfish schnitzel. Like it's just kind of all over the place.
What?
It sounds really good though, honestly.
I don't know what to tell you. But it's like, again, one of those spots where it's like, I know so little about it other than when I went, I had a really good meal.
That's the one that's like tucked behind a plaid pantry on Division across from Real Moon, right?
Yeah, I think
that used to be a sushi restaurant there.
It used to be a sushi place. And again, tiny little spot. And they do such cool stuff that feels really casual and breezy, but still pretty sophisticated. When I was there, I had really nice gambas al ajillo and this duck breast. I mean, I'm a freak for duck. I have talked about this a lot. My partner and I both really love duck. Their version, they make a red wine jus with soy sauce. And if you've ever put like soy sauce and tomato sauce or something, it just adds like a little...
It's more umami.
Yeah,
Salty
it's more
umami,
umami.
yeah.
It's a little bit more, it just had so much to a sauce. So really great and really pretty casual. And, lots of nice low intervention wine, which is stuff I like. Though I know, Claudia, it's like, I mentioned natural wine and there's like a little, the little heckles go up. But
I'm
yeah.
kind of on Claudia's side with that.
Listen. I don't hate natural wine.
A little glue.
I just hate that everyone went crazy for it in a way that they thought it was new. This is actually more annoying. It's just me being like, you guys, this is just how wine is made in most countries. Like, why are we freaking out about it? Also, I feel like some of our natural winemakers just make kombucha. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think it's also sometimes used as an excuse to just be like lazy about your winemaking and just make like junk and be like, it's all natty. It's natty wine. It's mousy glue.
This is vinegar, my friend.
Come drink it out of a stemless wine glass on a wine barrel at someone's garage or something.
And I would. And I probably would. No, I think that here is my thing. we've had this debate. I think Claudia and I particularly have had this debate like 4 times on the show. But like I will say, it's just like the word local where it doesn't mean anything and it means everything. So like you could call like organic wine that is still using sulfites natural wine. And then you could call like we put a bunch of grapes in an amphora and walked away and then poured it out. And like that's natural wine. And yeah, then you get like the wine faults and like things aren't really being corrected. And that's pretty gross. But I think their wine list was really good, personally. And
No, it sounds great.
All right. No, it sounds. Oh, no, all right. I'm definitely going to try. I'm going to try Oscar Food and Wine. That's my cat's name. I'm in.
You're sold.
Yeah. Oh, you would love the crap out of my cat, Alex.
Oh my God, I can't believe we haven't talked more about Oscar.
Yeah, I'll show you pictures later.
Yay.
We'll have a City Cast Cat Day.
City cats.
City cats. Okay, so let's say you're like, don't make me drink glue bullshit. Fine. What about this place, Bouvons, that I've been really into? This is from the guys from L'Orange, which is that, like, it's on a second floor. It's Joel Stocks, who used to be Holdfast Dining, and then Jeff Veer, who back in the day was at Le Cave. Jeff left and started to do wine at L'Orange.
Golden Cluster, right?
Yeah, he has the wine label Golden Cluster, but he also does the wine for L'Orange. This is sort of reminiscent of like early days Le Cave. Focus on sparkling wine, which is great. Again, they have like a weirdly great selection of non-alcoholic sparkling wine, if that's something that you're interested in, which is cool. And then the food is by Joel, but it's like
panini
fancy.
And stuff,
it's
right?
like fancy grilled cheeses, basically, which I'm kind of skeptical about that stuff often. But there were always grilled cheeses at Le Cave in the early days. And these ones are not just like, cheese bread. Like they have like a really cool Cubano riff. They're doing this one they call like Georgian, which means that they have like an adjika-esque like walnut sauce that you eat it with, which is really fun. And then they do little dips in mason jars, including a smoked fish one, which I don't know if anyone ever ate the fried saltines and smoked whitefish at, God, what was that place called in Montevilla that was like so short-lived? Lazy Susan.
Oh my God, right.
Loved it so much, and then it disappeared, and I yearn, and this is the closest I've gotten to that experience. But yeah, I feel like there are a ton of really fun new wine bars. I think there are more coming. And again, really kind of in the vein of how people are eating and drinking, and how I like to eat and drink, which is, again, sit at a bar, eat a few snacks, have a glass of wine, and call it a day.
I love a good wine bar. I love a good little snack with a glass of wine. So this is awesome. Also, just shout out to Living Room Wines, kind of like one of our,
I still haven't been. I'm way overdue for that.
Well, let's take a quick break here. And when we come back, Alex has some top picks for local drive-thrus. Alex.
Hi.
I feel like summer. I just so you guys know, there was a whole edited out conversation where Alex was accusing me of calling him Alec. And
accusing you, yeah, that's what I was.
Accusing me, and I was like, I didn't know his name or something. Alex. Anyhow, I feel like summer is peak drive-through season. Do you agree or disagree, Alex?
I agree.
Great.
Yeah, no, sometimes it gets too hot. You don't want to get out of your car, right?
Yeah. And
you're going on road trips and absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like I'm constantly in a car going through a drive-through window in the summer, even if I'm just like taking a burger to a swimming hole or something.
It's also just so much nicer to be driving in summer. Like, even if you're not getting out of your car, like you got music on, you got your sunglasses on, you got the window down. I'm a recent driver, as people probably know, so this is all still kind of novel to me.
Well, to me, a drive-through just means you're on your way to somewhere cool.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you said you have a list of some local, this is like not Taco Bell, this is not McDonald's. These are some local spots that
I just filled it with Taco Bell, like my favorite Taco Bells around Portland. No, I've got some alternatives to the chains, absolutely. So one of the ones I wanted to start with is Faceplant. And if you haven't heard of Faceplant, it's probably because it's on Swan Island. And Swan Island's not exactly like you're going to Swan Island, right? It's not like you're passing through there on your way to someone else very often. But Faceplant is pretty like a standard fast food restaurant. So it's got the red and yellow, bright colors and everything, and you pull through the drive-thru and you get your burgers and your fries and your milkshakes, but it's 100% plant-based, 100% vegan. And it has actually taken the crown of my favorite vegan burger in Portland. And they've got like the really classic fast food style. So they have like the kind of smaller, what they call the red and yellow, which is just like a bit of yellow cheese, mustard, and ketchup on like a small little patty. And then they have the fancy, which is kind of like your Big Mac or your Whoppers, where it's got the lettuce and the tomato and the onion and all that, and like the special sauce. And one of the things I think they do really well is their fries, because they actually maintain really well. So if you do take them somewhere else, they're still going to be good in your car when you get there. And that was actually co-founded by Molly Baz, who is like this darling of Bon Appetit and the food writing world and everything. She teamed up with a local Portlander named Matt Plitch and his wife. He was like a Nike alum. And so they built this. And their whole goal is to have like a dozen face plants in every major city. Like they want to take over the whole model. But right now they're starting on Swan Island.
Okay, it's an interesting location because most of us don't work on the docks. So we just never go down there, you know?
Apparently it's been really popular with truckers. Like truckers will come through and get that like all the time.
Really cool.
And it's a big enough drive-through you can take like a semi-truck through it.
Oh.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say is that it actually did quite literally replace the McDonald's that was there. So that's pretty cool.
That's right. Yeah,
It
absolutely.
does. I will say my partner can't eat beef, and this is also his favorite vegan burger in town now.
It's really good.
Yeah, like we will go out of our way, and if I'm being real, if I want to eat a burger, it's a beef burger. But their fries, I will get fries and I'll get a milkshake and I'll do it.
Yeah, they slap. I also want to shout out Best Baguette on 82nd, which is probably a lot more likely for you to be like going somewhere, right? You can take 82nd to 205 or wherever you're going.
They have a drive-through?
They have a drive-through, absolutely.
I had no idea. Oh my
now,
gosh.
Best Baguette, for those who don't know, is a banh mi restaurant. It's an old banh mi restaurant. And I'm pretty certain it was the first banh mi I ever ate.
Cute.
I went there with my dad, I don't know, 20 years ago or whatever. And that was my first. It's not like my number one banh mi in Portland, but it's really solid. It's really cheap. I think they're still like around like $6 or $7, which, you know, they used to be like $3 or whatever, but inflation comes for us all. And they have a huge selection and they do like some baked goods and things like that. But yeah, it's a little tricky to like get off of Powell to get in there if you're coming westernly, but yeah, you can make it work.
Nice. It always hits.
Yeah.
And then another one I wanted to shout out is you're not going to see this on like best Mexican restaurants in Portland lists or anything like that, but it did sustain my, this is going to be a sort of embarrassing admission, but you know, I'm going to stand by it anyways. It sustained my D&D group for about a decade.
Hell yeah.
And that would be Tecos, which is also on Powell. It's on Powell just off of 39th, whatever we're going to be calling that street. It's on like 40th or something like that. And I think it used to be an Arby's like way back in the day.
I need to know your Tecos order.
Chicken burrito, almost always.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can get more complicated. They have like larger dishes and everything. And one of the best things about it is that on most days of the week, it's open until 4 o'clock in the morning.
What?
So, yeah. So if you really need, you know, if you need that hit after you've been out to the bar, obviously I am not endorsing anyone inebriated behind the wheel. But if you have a designated driver and you're coming home from the bars and you need to fortify yourself with some burritos or tacos or whatever, can't beat Tecos.
I will say, who among us hasn't been the obnoxious person that's like, wait, take me through this drive-through.
I need to get a
Or
burrito.
driving me home,
It'll fix I won't be hungover tomorrow if I eat, you know, 900 calories of beans and meat.
Instead, I'll have indigestion all day.
Exactly.
That's my business.
And before we get to maybe the most like popular drive-through on this list, I do want to give a shout out to a little hot dog stand in the parking lot of Whole Foods, which is Frank's a Lot. And Frank's a Lot used to be called the Dog House. And that was like a place I'd like to go when I was younger. My mom, actually, if I got it, like whenever I wanted to get a hot dog, we'd have to go to the Dog House. Or if we went grocery shopping there, that was like my reward for going with her. So I think it's been there for about 30 years or so. Now it's called Frank's a Lot. And it's just this little stand. And one of the things I like about it is kind of like the juxtaposition of it, because it's literally in the parking lot of a Whole Foods. So you can go and get your like extremely overpriced Amazon groceries, and then you can go get like a $5 big old jumbo hot dog.
Actually, Alex, if you're a Prime member, I got to tell you, the groceries are pretty cheap. Sorry.
Oh,
Is that true?
man.
Nobody wants to hear this, but it's true. That's how they get you. Well, you can cut this out. I mean, I'm not getting paid by Bezos, but I'm just letting you know.
I can't cut this out. I have no power over this
but
situation.
I'm just letting you know that the reason some people shop there is because it's actually weirdly cheap if you are a Prime member. Sorry, go on.
No, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. But if you go there and you have, you know, with the money you saved on groceries by selling your soul, by being a Prime member, you can use those savings and buy yourself a hot dog or a chili dog or something from your favorite local, independently owned, locally owned hot dog stand.
I love Frank's a lot. I remember when it was the Doghouse, and I wish they would have kept that name because Frank's a lot. I mean, it's fine, but Doghouse was cool.
Doghouse is
Frank's-a-lot
cooler.
is cuter.
Frank's a lot sounds like the name of a business in the background of The Good Place because they do a lot of really punny names.
That's
and
true.
then finally, we got to shout out Sugar Pine, right? I feel like we talked about Sugar Pine we've mentioned that on the podcast multiple times. I feel like
because it's the best drive-through in the area, and I know
it just is.
People will come at us and be like, "It's not in Portland." I don't care. It's Portland to us because,
absolutely, it's
it's ours as
Grow
well.
up.
Yeah,
If you don't think that Troutdale counts, it's so I'm so sorry. Again, every other major city, it's like a broader metro area, and Troutdale is absolutely broader metro area.
It's funny whenever I tell somebody that I'm I'm like a born and raised Portlander, and then they tell me that they are, or like someone will be like, "Oh, I'm from Portland as well," and I'll be like, "Oh, where are you from?" And they're like, "Well, actually, I'm from Beaverton or whatever," and I'm like, "Okay, great, awesome, you're from Portland." As far as they get really pre-defensive in a way because they think I'm going to be like, "You're not really from Portland," but no, the only people who say that are not from Portland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
Or douchebags.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, from what I understand, Sugar Pine's drive-in is not you can't order
the full menu,
everything.
Yeah.
Right. It's mostly drinks and ice cream and grab-and-go items. But if you order ahead of time, can you?
Yes. So this is my move. When I am going particularly to the Columbia River Gorge, I am putting in my online order in St. John's. It takes about 30 minutes. So by the time I'm there, it's ready. You go straight to the ice cream count. You go through the drive-thru. You can't order ice cream in advance. But when you do it that way, you can order your ice cream at the counter and pick up your pre-order and boom, ready to go. The one problem is if it's super busy, sometimes they will turn off the online ordering.
Oh.
But at noon on a Friday, I can order online. So I will say it is a really smart way to do it. And I would do unholy, godless things for their sugar pine salad. I am obsessed with it. So.
Also, one thing I want to point out that I think is interesting, there's a law that you can't build new drive-ins in a lot of areas of Portland. It was put in place in 2018.
True? Oh,
yeah, so it's any sort of commercial, mixed commercial areas, the drive-ins have to be existing.
This is why probably Faceplant moved to Swan Island, is what you're saying. And this also makes sense because I heard that the Forest Park Drive-In might be reopening, and I thought it was interesting, and I think it's because of that, because it's grandfathered in. But yeah, right. I know it's a much loved spot for old Portland. It's been around since the 60s, and people grew up going to that drive-through because it used to have a zip line and this huge swing, just crazy stuff on it. And the guy who owned it was just this legend. But I pass it because, again, I live in St. John's. So when I have to drive over to the west side, I take German Road and I see it all the time. And a lot of people don't know this, but during Christmas, the new owners always put out a Christmas tree and put it with lights. It's really cute. It's still part of the community somehow, even though it's been shut down for years.
Yeah, I will say I love the idea of that being in there. I think it should be a really cool addition to that area. And also, that building has seen some things. So I can't imagine that it's going to be... It looks haunted
in all the photos I've seen of it.
Yeah, I think it will be probably a big lift to get it back to a point where it's going to be a cute stop. But I'm really looking forward to it.
Same. Well, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me and giving us some of your picks. Anyone listening, if you know about any cool new drive-thrus, any local drive-thrus, or any nice new wine bars that opened up that you want to shout out, hit us up at portland@citycast.fm. That's about it. Look at us. We did it. Another show together.
Look at us.
Look at us.
Look at us.
That's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please share it with a friend, rate it, leave us an awesome review, and don't forget you can support this show and get great perks like ad-free listening by becoming a CityCast Portland neighbor. Just visit membership.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's. Or
the drive-thru at Tecos.
Yeah, or at an ice rink teaching Alex how to skate.
Yay.
With
and get over his
little
weird
walker.
fear.
I was going to say, I don't have a big enough Klonopin prescription to hear about these very specific Final Destination fears.
Sorry. Right. It was a little graphic. I apologize.